Hello Rebels and welcome back to my life. If something appears to be wrong with me, it is. I am sick, so please pardon the deepness of my voice, my lack of my general enthusiasm, and the fact that I am talking more slowly than normal. Although I'm sure many of you will view those as vast improvements. I got sick because yesterday I took my kids to Disneyland, and Disneyland, as with most crowded places, is a cesspool for disease. As we usually do when we go to Disneyland, at the end of the day we told all of the kids that they could get one toy, and so we went into the Star Wars store, which is where they all wanted to go. Now, I made a video back in December about going to see the new Star Wars movie and then taking my daughter to see it and how much she loved it. Rey is unquestionably her favorite character. She got a Rey poster and hung it up in her room. She wants to be a Jedi when she grows up, like Rey. But the Star Wars store in Disneyland, the home of all things Disney, does not have a Rey toy. Not one! Not a single one. They have big, gigantic 12-inch Chewbacca's and Finn's and Kylo Ren's, which, by the way, is what we ended up settling for. This is the Kylo Ren toy that we got for Dawn. It's gorgeously made, I think you'll agree. It looks awesome. It talks. I'm immune to the light. And of course the store had BB-8, like tons of it. We got that for Luke. Here it is. It's freaking awesome. It rolls around and it chirps when you talk to it. Quiet, BB-8. But the store didn't just have toys from the new movie. BB-8, stop it. He literally started rolling around. Okay, I love you, buddy, but I'm just gonna power you down. But the store didn't just have merchandise from the new movie. It had it from the original films, the prequels, there were Yodas, there were Darth Vaders, there were toys from Star Wars Rebels and Star Wars The Clone Wars TV shows. They had freaking Wampas. They had Wampas! But they didn't have one single freaking Rey toy. Not one in the entire store. Now, I'm not even close to the first person to talk about this. The hashtag Where's Rey was getting a lot of attention back in December, still being talked about today. And I was definitely annoyed by it. I talked about it a lot on social media. Got into a few arguments on Facebook about it. But now it's hit me where I live. And yeah, I'm freaking pissed off about it. I guess I just thought that at Disneyland, of all places, they might have a Rey toy so that my daughter's perfect day at her favorite place in the world wouldn't be ruined. Now, before you jump in the comments and go, oh, well, this is the total first world problem. Yeah, it is, and I fully acknowledge that. But guess what? It is still a problem. Other people have it worse is a completely invalid counter-argument to anybody's point. That is literally the language of abusers. So if that's what you're thinking right now as you're watching this, just stop. Just don't say it. Don't make yourself look like that person. This issue is a symptom of sexism, which America has a huge freaking problem with. And in cases like this, sexism becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy that just keeps itself going endlessly. Companies think Star Wars toys are only for boys, so they don't make girl characters from the film, even when the character is the main character of the freaking movie. So of course, nobody buys Rey toys, because they literally can't. You can't even find a good Rey toy online. This 12-inch Kylo Ren toy that we bought for Dawn goes for about $13 on Amazon. But a Rey toy, which is 6 inches tall and has horrible reviews because of how crappy it looks, is selling for $40. No, I don't think that many parents are going to buy Rey toys because they suck and they're overpriced. This is what people are complaining about when they complain about the lack of diversity in entertainment. The industry doesn't make movies starring women or people of color because they don't think that the audience exists for that kind of movie. And even when that movie finally does get made, and it's the biggest movie of all time, they don't back it up with the same merchandising that they do for the other movies in the franchise. So they are actively hampering it from becoming as big of a cultural phenomenon as it could be, especially for the exact audience they could be targeting with it. And that's the other thing too. People always go, oh God, well, if they could make money targeting movies and merchandise to women, of course they would want to do that because that's what they're all about. They're all about making money. Bullshit! They, like all human beings in the world, are all about doing what is comfortable for them in a way that they understand that gets them a paycheck, acclaim, praise, and all the other things that human beings do things for. And they are so limited in their mindset and their viewpoint that they don't even want to think or bother trying to imagine what it would be like to live somebody else's experience or life. Because why would they? We give them hundreds of millions of dollars for doing the same freaking thing they've been doing forever. And when you reach a certain point of wealth and success and whatever, you don't care that you could make an extra $100 million off of that movie and that franchise by making toys that actually appeal to people who would like that movie or franchise. It's just a high score thing. And you are so set in your ways and your way of thinking that you go, nah. And that nah is the problem. And yeah, the lack of merchandising for Rey is just a symptom, but it is a symptom that perpetuates the problem again. Because yeah, if you don't back up a franchise with merchandising that appeals to a certain market, that market will lose interest. Media companies know this. That's why they merchandise in the first place. So by excluding girls from the Star Wars universe, which make no mistake, that is what they're doing, they're not only shooting themselves in the foot in the long term, but they are doing a massive disservice to an entire new generation of girls who are already loving Star Wars and just want opportunities to show how much they love it. And the absolute worst part of all this is that I cannot do anything to change it, except for complain loudly, which I've now done for more than the standard 4 minutes. This is why there's a movement to kick old white guys out of the academy. This is why there is a movement to diversify entertainment in general and the film industry in particular. People have decided that they don't want a bunch of old white dudes running the show because they are the people who pretend that there isn't a problem in the first place. There very much is. And this that we're talking about right now is one admittedly minor symptom of that problem. Now there's the excellent question that could be asked of why am I complaining about it? I mean, one day I too will be an old white man, or depending on your perspective, I already am, and therefore I will be able to more easily get into a system that seems rigged for me to succeed. Yeah, here's the thing. I already live in a system that is rigged from the ground up for me to succeed. It's called America, and I don't think so poorly of my own abilities that I think I need another leg up in order to be a success. But maybe the current industry leaders do. And maybe that's why they're clinging so desperately to the exclusivity of their club, because they think or they know that they don't have the chops to be successful without it. That's it for today, Rebels. A special shout out to my supporters on Patreon who make my YouTube channel possible. If you want to be one of those excellent people or get signed copies of my books, there are links in the description to both of those things. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye!